Hey everyone, this is a quick video about everyone's least favorite subject, advertisements. So Pennant Chase is a website that is obviously free and therefore supported by ads. And ads are just, I call them a necessary evil. If we want a free site, we have to have them. Websites are pretty expensive to maintain, especially a site like Pennant Chase that requires a lot of compute power and a lot of data storage to operate. Obviously, we're not operating at huge scales, but we're operating at a scale large enough that we need to actually fund the servers. And so advertisements are just a fact of life today on the web. And I want to talk about them quickly. And I also want to read a little bit about what I wrote on the blog, because I think it's pretty important to set the stage about ads. And I said, we all hate ads, but we must have them on Pennant Chase to keep this website going. We have a mere 77 active donors. So when I looked it up to write this article, 77 people were active donors currently. Over 14,000 people are registered on the site. And really, it's been more than that because over the years, I've purged inactive accounts. So we've probably had over the years well over 20,000, probably more like 30,000 people sign up on Pennant Chase. And every month we have, I would say, over 1,000, if not a couple thousand active people visiting the website at one point or another. So you can see the percentage of donors is pretty small, right? Relative to people who are currently signed up, it's less than 1% of people donate. Relative even to the people who are active every month, it's a very, very small percentage. So that's how critical ad revenue is. It's highly unlikely this website could survive with a subscription model unless I charged really high prices to a small group of people who could afford it. So, people ask me that all the time. Why don't I just start charging? And the problem with that, of course, is that there are very few people who would actually use the site if I started charging for it. Now, it might be a better way to make money for the site, but it would limit the number of people who are actually on the site and who continue to use the site. And, my mission when I built this website, and it is a hobby for me, it's not my full-time job, but my mission was really to give this thing that I built that I really enjoyed back to people. And if people aren't using it, it kind of defeats the purpose of me even spending time on it. So I like the fact that it's free, and I like the fact that most of the people who come to Pennant Chase and stay on Pennant Chase are partly here because it's free. Believe me, if a subscription model made sense and would work, I would consider it, but I don't really know that it would. There are websites out there, many popular ones, that basically survive on that subscription model. But I think what sets Pennant Chase apart is the fact that it is free and offers as much as it does for free. I'm not sure you can really find that. I don't think you can anywhere else. So why am I talking about ads right now? And I'm bringing this up because it's time to do more experimenting. And those of you who have been on the website for a while are familiar with the fact that I often have to do experiment now and then. You've seen a variety of ads, and I've certainly heard complaints about some of the ads in the past we've tried, and then I pull them down if they're too intrusive. But a Pennant Chase, really, we have very few ads. If you look at the web today, and you go to any blog or any other website, I challenge you to find a popular site of any kind that's free, that isn't just bombarding you with ads. And, with Pennant Chase, I'm looking here on the homepage, you can see we've really limited it to the one banner up at the top. And in some cases where we have a right rail, let me just see if I can get to a page that would show me that. For example, let's just go to the global messages. And you can see on the right side here, a little bit lower in the page, are some of these box ads, right? And that's it. We've got one banner and a couple boxes. And on mobile, you probably don't even see the boxes because they fall down to the bottom of the page. And the problem with ads that fall down to the bottom of the page is that we don't get any credit if they're not on the screen. So ads that aren't viewable on the screen are no longer generating any revenue. So the ad world and the ad business has changed a lot. And I just went back to the homepage and you see the new style that I'm going to talk about, which is this ad at the bottom. But I want to refresh and see if I can get back to the ad at the top. So right now, both types of ads, both the banner at the top and the banner at the bottom, are on the website at different times. I've committed to keeping it to one banner, which I think is pretty admirable at this point. I can live with that. But I do want to talk about these two different styles of ads now that will start showing up. So the banner at the top has been there now for a little while. The problem is most people are pretty blind to that, and they scroll down the page and the ad goes away. And so again, the revenue there is not as good as we need it to be. The ad here that I'm experimenting with, you can see, is at the bottom and it overlays the screen. Now, I know that the overlay factor has annoyed people, and I know that it will annoy some people. But the reality is this is the kind of ad that is becoming very, very, very common on the web. You go to baseballreference.com. I was just on their mobile site the other day. They have this. I mean, everyone pretty much has this now because it's the only way to really generate any revenue, because this ad actually stays on the screen when you scroll, and advertisers can be confident that you're actually seeing it. But I think it's actually advantageous in some ways as well. It's good for users too. And one thing that advertisers are becoming more conscious of is they want ads that you can see, and they also want ads that are not a terrible user experience. And so you can see that the real estate, the viewable real estate, is not impacted at all. Because if you look at the screen here, I mean, I can see all the way down to the FAQ link. And if I go to the other tab and I see the top banner, it's the same thing. I can see all the way down to the FAQ link. And it's actually a little nicer, I think, with the ad at the bottom, because the more important information is bumped higher up the screen. So I don't have to worry about scrolling as much. The more valuable information is up higher. The other advantageous thing here, obviously, is that you can close this ad at the bottom and it's gone. And now I've got the full page. And if I'm spending a lot of time on a page and doing a lot of research, maybe on some statistics, and I don't want that ad overlaying the page, click it, it's gone, right? And then the other advantageous thing about this is that some of these vendors that do submit these ads that appear at the bottom, they're a little more in control of the ads that can show up, and they can filter out and catch virus ads or ads that are inaccurately alerting you to a virus on your computer, or those ads that sometimes redirect you to another page, which are just terrible. The ads at the bottom and the vendors that supply those can be a little more aggressive about filtering those bad ads out. So that's another advantage. So really I think three sort of different advantages to the ad at the bottom, even though it does overlay the screen. I just want to mention that ads are a reality. I encourage everyone to just kind of embrace the reality. We don't have a lot of ads on Pennant Chase at all. Ad blockers obviously have become a real challenge for the web and publishers and creators of websites. And I encourage everyone and plead with everyone to not use an ad blocker on Pennant Chase. I don't think our ads are so intrusive that you would have to. If you do, if everyone were to use ad blockers, we just couldn't have a website. End of story. The other problem with ad blockers, as many of you have noticed, is that they do actually conflict with certain pieces of functionality on the website, because sometimes they don't know what's an ad and what's not an ad. So it can the ad blockers can get confused, and they can actually wind up, blocking valuable information on Pennant Chase. So that's really it. That's my summary. I just wanted you to see the difference between the two ads. At this point, these will start sort of rolling in. Again, this is also a test. It's to see if it will help, and I'm always looking for the best user experience, the best benefit for the site, and what is the right combination of things. And so, if the ads at the bottom don't help, then I'm not going to stick with them. I'll go back to the top ads. Right now, there's going to be a blend, and I expect there will be a blend for a while until I can figure out what the right mix is. And as you know, I'm continuing to try to, for donors, limit the ads for donors as well. And the last thing I want to mention is those ads on the right that I talked about. I will have to keep those. They are pretty. They don't impact mobile users really much at all because, like I said, they're at the bottom of the screen and they don't really factor in unless you actually view them. So most mobile users are not even going to see these. For desktop users, I mean, they're pretty out of the way, and so they are what they are. But I'll continue to monitor things and adjust as needed. Thanks for taking some time to listen to this.